it was difficult to maintain the various cultural practices brought over from Africa, um, due to a lot of reasons. Okay. And I'm talking about the first enslaved people here in the United States of America and their descendants. Okay. And us. Okay. So it was going to be difficult for a number of reasons. Okay. I'm going to talk about one reason. Number one, there wasn't one specific cultural practice. Okay. It was a bunch of them. Okay, people were taken from different areas out of the continent of Africa, so it's not like everybody just came from one little area. Okay, didn't happen that way. All right. Um, Number two, America, the United States is large. Okay, going from Florida all the way to New York, right? That's big. All right, so you can't compare, um, let's say, an island like Jamaica or Haiti to that vast area. It's different. And I say this because when enslaved people had children, for instance, okay? Number one, it was illegal. It was not allowed. They stripped, they so you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Much of the time, depending on where you are, you could not do anything. There are some people who maintain, like the Gullah Geechee, they maintained a lot. But let's say someone who lived in Charleston, South Carolina, some of their children were sold off, right? At that point, it's not like they live down the street. It's not like they live an hour away. You could be sold off to Virginia. And as a child, whatever mom knows, you don't know at that point. You might not ever see mom again. What you know is what you know. That's it. You don't know anything else. Now, if in fact the area, if the area was smaller, it would have been easier for cultural practices to be maintained secretly and stuff like that. However, because of the vast area, people are being moved everywhere. It takes full days driving to get to certain places up north, okay, from down south. Full days. That's driving. So imagine walking or horseback or whatever. Okay, so yeah. And because of the difference in area, you have different peoples. Okay, different peoples. Um, and that's just how that was. Okay, you have different laws and you have different things that you can and cannot do. Now, in the South is where there was all throughout the United States of America. I'm gonna just say it like this: there were underground things that we would do. But when you talk about language, for instance, languages could not be kept because you weren't allowed to speak in those languages. And just like I said, let's say I came off of somebody, I was my mother or something. If I was enslaved and my mother spoke a tongue from one of the places, one of the regions, one of the ethnic groups in Africa, if she would not be able to teach me that. And if she did, she would have to teach me when I'm older because she would be afraid that she would get killed or I would get killed or get in trouble for speaking it, right? So you have to think about it from a parent's perspective. Okay, I'm over here, uh-oh. Um, and then she could get sold off. So what mother tongue? What? And so that's how Black America, African Americans, we ended up developing our own culture and our own way of life. Um, we still have folk tales, we still have stories, we still, and if you want to really get down to a lot of the closest, some of the closest stuff we have in connection with Africa, you can go down and visit the Gullah Geechee. Okay. Because they have some of the closest ties, I think, some of the closest things. But as far as many others, we had to really um, develop our own. Around the Stoner Rebellion was when they took away the drums. They wouldn't let us, the hand drums. If you notice, most of us don't play drums with the hands, we sticks, right? Okay, drumsticks. Okay. Ham boning was developed, and we would do it on our bodies. We would do it on certain things. Ham boning was developed was founded in the United States of America because we, after the Stono Rebellion, they were afraid, and they said, no, take the music away. No, they can't do that anymore. So, and people do wonder, well, how come y'all don't know what tribe one of your original people? We aren't the first generation here. That's the thing. I think people, we are not the first generation here. Our first generations were way back in the day, 1500, 1600, way back in the day. Okay. So based on everything I said, you understand that's not gonna work. Okay. So there was no tribalism. We became one over here. And that's a part of making culture, right? Just the mere fact of you knowing that several different people off the continent of Africa came over here and they became one people together, one people, one mind. That right there is a part of cultural, a new culture and a new people